Hello, everyone, and I welcome us back to night class. And I hope Python class has been interesting so far. So I would also love to just hear our feedback. I think I was checking the Telegram and I was seeing some of our requests on. Okay, I think a lot of people are requesting for the file for numpy, pandas, and matplotlibs and the like. So maybe I will just try to download them and try to get them across to us for us to practice them. So like the way we are request, the issue is my MacBook is having some issue right now. So and the window laptop that I'm using it's not really allowing me to convert those code to PDF. That's why if I was using Mac, it's kind of easier to just get it across in PDF. But I'm going to resolve the issue. I'm going to install the necessary library that is going to allow me to do that easily. So once I am able to do that, I'm going to get it across to us. So and you see that Python class is not like the Excels and Power BI. We all know that Excels and Power BI are more simpler compared to Python. It's just like a sign of growth. So the higher you go, at times it look more complex or look more difficult, but you just have to adapt with it and keep growing. So you don't expect everything to be like the same way, because I was seeing people saying all sorts of things on the Telegram. At times I read them, at times I may not really be chance to really answer them immediately. But most of the time I see most of what we drops on the groups and the like. So you don't expect it to just keep getting smoother. The more those tools are like uh they are different and one is difficult than the other. Even I can tell you that Microsoft Excel deep is difficult than Power BI at times. If you take into so many things you can achieve with Microsoft Excel, and when it comes to Python it's more difficult. So it's just like a refat. So it's not, no matter I try to explain and explain, it's still the same thing. So it's just like it's we that we need to adapt by taking our time to listen in class. Now I think we only have 20 people attending the class out of like 500 students. So most of the time, most people will be messaging me, they are not getting this, they are not that. And most of the time it's not anybody's fault, because imagine we only have 19 people now on the call. So how will you, and there are some that after the class they may not even watch it again. So most of the time all these things contribute to you understanding. And even some, I discovered that some will just drop their name and just leave the call. So it's not, the attendance will only give you a certificate, right? By you putting your name and you running away, the only help that I can give to you is, okay, you have a good score to get your certificate, but attendance or certificate will not help you when you get a job. Dat time you will need to demonstrate what you know. So that's why it's very important to take time to lis ten and put in our effort. It's not, I always tell people certificate can move you when you are just getting certificate from training. It will get to a point where when you even get certificate you will not post it, or you will not even bother to get it, because what you will care about is solving problem. There's one time, okay, let me just chip in this story before I continue tonight class. So there's one time I completed a course and I posted it on my LinkedIn profile, and when a recruiter saw it, like I just share it and a recruiter reach out to me. Wow, I discovered that you did this, you did that. So will you be able to work for us? And they are even ready to pay $3,000 per month. And the next thing they ask me, what attract them with my certificate, right? The next thing is show us your project portfolio, like what are the projects you've worked on in this field that you are sharing, like in that particular niche that I was sharing certificate on. And I could not provide because uh Okay, somebody said they need a group practical. It will help please. So I don't really get that. Is it that I should put you in a group, or I should put people in a group, or you just want to make friends that you can work together on the platform? The problem with the group is this: it's only you that can make the group work by, okay, reaching out to people that you know that they are active in class, and you already know yourself, people that answer question on the group, people that comment, people that, it's just like a normal thing. You can reach out to them and just create a group for yourself, and you are just pushing out stuff. If I've put people in a capstone project that is just one person that end up doing it, a lot of people for I don't even know, don't let me just discourage you may even be eager to learn, but when you are in a group, make friend. That's it. Make friend, you can work together, at least it can help. That's it. You already see people here that attend classes every time, and you also notice on Telegram that some people immediately they drop question gbas, they are already trying, they are making attempt to answer it, to do the, all those ones are people that you can reach out to, that okay, can we be friend, can we learn together, can we even, you can also go on Twitter, do 100 days challenge for data analysis, or 20 days challenge for learning Python, that you be posting every day. Okay, hashtag day one, hashtag day two. In that, in that way, you be committed to learning and improving yourself. Like you won't just be there, and you can look into people that are active, just make friends with them and start. If I put you in a group now, you may end, I've been in a team when I started learning data analysis. It was even an internship. My team, the project they give us for 3 months, I was the only one that did everything for the, because me that time I was so eager to learn these skills, and I don't just want anything to just delay me, or just hinder me not to achieve my aim. So, and I don't want to just make it known to the company that okay, what they gave us, we are not doing it, or people are not responding. I just take the responsibility, although it pushed me to learn so many things that I knew. So I took everything, I did it. I was the only one that did the whole analysis for like complete 3 months. So, and most of the time after doing it, I will even schedule a call with my team to carry them along in case they ask them question. So that when they ask them question, it won't be like, they will know that it's only one person. So anytime I'm able to solve what they ask us to solve, I will create a Google Meet link with them. I will have a call with them, explain what I did, so that when they ask them, they will be able to say something. What I'm trying to say is, you already know people that are active, you can reach out to them and make a friend with them if that is what you want. But me putting people in a team, I'm just telling you, like, it's something that this is just like a bitter truth, right? I shouldn't be saying this on a live call, but I just want to chip in it. So that's just it. So learning, practicing what you are learning always help a lot. So if you are not practicing, it will just be like somebody is just telling story, because, and all these things are volatile. The more you practice them, the more you know it. The more you tend to practice and practice and practice, you may even need to work on several projects to be sure that these skills you've mastered it. So that's just how it works. Like the one I gave in terms of dashboard, in terms of pivot table, you can also find another data, replicate the same thing, try different dashboard, post different dashboard. It will get to a point where people will be correcting you. Just make sure you are tagging people that they are good in the field, so they will end up like just correcting you that okay, in this dashboard, why don't you just do this, why don't you do that. So it will get a time that people will start correcting you, and you also start seeing improvement in what you are doing. So tonight I'm going to start like just start a data analysis project using Python. And what we'll be using is those basic libraries I've explained before, just like NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib, how we can make use of them in a real project. So let me start my Jupyter notebook. Okay, let me try to present. Let me share my screen. So this is like Jupyter notebooks, and I believe that before now we are all familiar with this, and I already have a pre-written code that I just want to click on so that I can easily uh, okay, okay. So it's loading here. So based on my explanation before, I already explained to us. So based on my We've already started the use of libraries. I've explained what Pandas is all about, and those that maybe like you are just joining this call and they are new to all those things, we advise you going back to those recorded video and just take advantage of rewatching them. And when you are watching them, you can practice along. Although some are requesting for the PDF, but if I were you, when want like as you are watching it, you can be replicating it. It's just same. But I will also try to make the PDF available so that we can make use of it. So in this, like when you are working on a data analysis project, you have to understand the life cycles of a data analyst project and you understanding how it works. Just like understanding the business problem. When you understand the business problem, you know how to get a right data from a right source. When you get the right data from the right source, you must clean it because the data can be dirty or it can have some anomalies. And after cleaning, you also need to you need to do some analysis, you need to do some visualization, then you also need to note some insight patterns that you derive from this data set and put them in a PowerPoint presentation where you can, it may not be PowerPoint but just noting them so that you can provide a feedback or a recommendation for that part or providing a solution to the problem specified initially. So the first thing is okay, understanding the problem, right? But in this scenario, okay, let me just say using a Python programming, the first thing you need to do here is importing libraries before you can perform any actions. And don't forget, these are just like basic libraries that you need to import. Like importing OS is not something really important here. If I remove it, it's still going to work. So then import pandas as PD. Pandas here is very important. So pandas is used for data frame, like as I've explained before now, like in our previous class, import pandas as PD. So we are using PD to represent pandas anywhere we want to make use of it. So we also have import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Then we also have import seaborn as SNS. Then import numpy as np. So here pandas is for data frame, matplotlib is for visualization, that is in form of visuals, putting things in chart, bar chart, pie chart, line chart, bubble chart, all forms of chart that you can imagine. We use matplotlib and seaborn. Seaborn and matplotlib represent the same thing. And also numpy work best with number or array, anything that has to do with array. So that's what numpy is all about. So now I'm going to just clear all outputs. So I'm going to run and clear all outputs, and the reason is I just want everything to be new. I want everything to be new. I'm coming. So what we'll be doing, like here, I've tried to restart my kernel so that everything, we are not seeing any result, so that we can be able to relate with everything that is going here. And this data set has some certain questions that need to be answered with our analysis, and I think it make it more easier to really understand what is going on. So now importing the necessary library, just like I said, some of the necessary libraries here are okay. Import os is not really important here, but import pandas as pd. Pandas is important because we'll be working with a tabular data, so data in a tabular format. So we'll be working with data in tabular format here. And matplotlib is important because we'll also be working with visuals. We'll also be making visuals. Seaborn is also important because it's just like in form of visuals. But if we are okay with matplotlib, we may not need to use seaborn. And numpy is just like in form of seaborn is just like in form of okay, seaborn and matplotlib is the same, just like I said. And numpy is like anytime we are working with an dimensional array. So anytime we are working with array, we tend to use numpy. So if I run this now, it's going to run. So it's going to run. So, and don't forget, because I've also seen people asking me question that they imported something is not importing. So you will see here, you note that this side here that I'm using, this side here is just like a square bracket without nothing. But once you are able to run the code and it ran, it's going to show one or so two, depending on the numbers of the time you've run that cell. So now this is showing one because this is just like the first time of running it. So now I want to go to the aspect of importing data set. After you've import your necessary library, the next thing is importing the data set that you want to use. And remember that this data set has different formats. We have .csv, which is comma separated value. We have xlsx, which is Excel format. We have different kind of formats that you can import. We even have JSON file because it's not limited to Excel. We have SQL data, we have JSON, we have different forms of data sets that you can import. So this is how it is. Then the data set here that we'll be working with is .tsv, and that's why we are using. Okay, I think I need to probably deactivate. Okay, I'm trying to like deactivate this. I'm trying to deactivate my Grammarly app so that it won't be disturbing me. So here df equals to pd dot read underscore csv, because the data has a csv format, which is equals to data dot csv. Then I'm closing the bracket. So now this is the way to import my data set. Def, you can, this def is just like a variable name if we're still following along. So this def can be any name, so I can use any name of my choice. So def is just like a name that I'm giving my data set. So I'll just run it, and this, I'm able to run this and it ran just because the data set is inside the directory that I'm working with. So if I click on this home now, I can see that the data set is here, which is all underscore data dot csv is here. That's the reason why I'm able to just use this and it ran. But if it's not there, I need to go and copy the part where the data is. I believe everybody know how to copy a part of a file. So you just need to go and copy the part and put the part here. So putting the part here will allow you to get the data in from any part of your data of your laptop, either on desktop, document, download and all. So now if I use df.add, using df.add is showing like 5 rows of the data set, and we have order ID, product, quantity order, price each, and order date, purchase address. So this is like the rows that is inside the column, and you can see this head is showing, is just like a way of specifying that I just only want to see the first 5 rows of my data. That's what the head is all about. So if I'm using df.tail, if I use df.tail, like using this is showing that I want to see the last 5 rows of my data set, and you will see that we have one, the ID here is 18,600. Okay, it's like 186,845. So you see how lengthy the row is. So here I can just check on the length, which is L bracket df. Then if I print it, I'm going to see that this is what is actually showing here. So this is showing 186,849 because the ID starts from 0. That's why it's minusing 1 from it. So the total length here is 186,850. So and you can see it here, and seeing this can give you like idea on, okay, what is this data is all about, if you've not seen like a project statement for this data before laying your hands on working on it. So you can start imagine, okay, this data has a product, has the quantity order, have the price it, have order date, then have purchase address. So we have product, which is like we have different products. You can see we have iPhone, we have USB charging cable, we have AA battery 4 packs. So these are just like basic samples of. We also have wired earphone, we have Google phone, we have Bose SoundSpot headphone, we have USB-C charging cable. So these are just like basic uh so these are just like basic things that is present in that particular column, this product column. Then we also have quantity order. We have the numbers of quantity order, we have price each, we have order date, we have purchase address. So maybe like just to try to track the product, to see the address where people are buying products from them, and just all sorts of things. You can start imagine and start thinking on the theory you want to approve or disapprove with this data, or what exactly you want to tell with this data set. So depending on, like, you just trying to picture them by imagining what is inside this particular table. Then we also have the next thing is, after you've tried to study your data and understand it, it's just, this is just like the same process as we work with Excels and Power BI. So I need to check on the data types of my data. You can see here that, okay, product has some text, quantity order has some numbers, price each has also numbers. Then we also have order date, we also have purchase address. So we need to check and confirm if this actually have the data type that claim they have. Just like the product here should be text or call object, while the quantity order should be number, and you can see price each should also be number. Then this order date should come in form of date and time. Then purchase address should also be in form of text, which is text, it should be string or object. So we need to check the data type to confirm. So this is what we are going to use. We are going to use df.dtypes then to check the data types in the data set. And you can see here, by calling this df.dtypes, df.dtypes to show, is showing now that order ID has object, which is string, product has object, which is string, quantity order has object, which is also string, price each has object, which is also string, order date has object, which is also string, purchase address has object, which is also string. And you will see that this is not so, because order quantity order is a number, it shouldn't be object, so it should be integer. And also price each should be float, because there is still some decimal here, and order date should be day and time. So that shows we need some basic things to clean from the data. So now I can easily check on the head again to confirm that this is not correlating to the information inside this table. So now I can also proceed to check the missing value in the data set. Like, I want to check if there's a missing value. How to check a missing value is by using df dot is null, then open bracket and close it, dot sum, then open bracket and close it. Then when I run this, it's going to give me this. So order ID, which is 4545, then product, which is 545, then the quantity order, which is 545, price each, order date, then purchase address. So this is just like the total sum of the missing value from this data set. And don't let us forget that the length of the data set, if I check again, the length of the data set is 186,850. So now the missing from each column is the same, or let me say the missing value from dis are the same, all the columns are the same, like the total sum of the missing value is the same. And if I try to minus the missing value from the total numbers of the rows in the data set. Okay, somebody was saying for the length, we can try it and see. Let's do dot ln. Somebody said, can we just do it? Okay, let's do that and see if it's going to work. I believe that the person that specified that can see the screen that is telling us that data frame object has no attribute LAN. So the reason is, if we are using dot, that shows we are calling a function inside the data frame, and in this scenario there is no function that is like the function of data frame is not related to length, so length cannot work by calling a length function inside data frame. So that's why it's not, length is just on its own. In this scenario we are just using a keyword length to check the length of the data set. So if you are calling the length from the data frame, it's not going to work. So that's why it's showing attribute error. So I just want to show that because of the person specifying in the chat box. So now checking the difference, we can see once we minus 545 from 186,850, what remain here is this, which is the same for every column, because this missing value is evenly distributed. That is, every data set, every single column has the same missing value. So in this settings, or in this scenario, it's just better to just drop every missing value. So once you drop them, you, because it's the same, they are evenly distributed. So we can check the shape as well. The shape here is like, this data set has 186,850 rows and 6 column, while this rows and it just has 6 column, and you can see we can verify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 column. So we can also check on the describe, which is df.describe. This will give some key informations of what is going on in your data, just in form of count, unique, top and frequency. So here it's going to give us value count for each column, and you can see here that the count for each column is the same, just like the count for order ID is the same with product, is the same with quantity order, is the same with price, it's the same with order date, it's also the same with the purchase address. So they all have the same count, the same length, the same missing value. So we also have unique value from them. So in the order date, we have these numbers of unique ID. In products, we only have 20 products, and we we only have 20 unique products in which they are repeated over time. In the quantity order, we have 10 unique quantity order. In price it, we have 24 unique value. Then other dates, we have this, then we have purchase address, we also have this unique value. So we have top, so for the top we have order ID, we have USB-C charger cable. The top here is one, the top for price for each is this. So this is just trying to give us a picture or a summary of what is inside our data set. And once we see that this data set is evenly distributed, we can easily drop all the missing value that is inside this particular data set. So we can do that by So we can do that by dropping all the missing value in the data. And how can you do that? We can do that by using def, which is the names of the data frame, equals to def dot drop na. So drop na means we are dropping all the missing value. Then it's trying to use an argument called how equals to all. That is, how do we want it to remove the missing value. So we are using how equals to all, that is, remove every missing value from the data set. So when I run this, and just because I've assigned it to this def, so I can check for the shape again. The shape here is just like 18,000 now, 600, and you can see that initially this is the unique count. So now the missing value has been dropped. If I try to check on the missing value again, which is df dot is null dot sum. So if I just run this now, you can see that the missing value now is now 000, just because we've dropped everything here. df equals to df dot drop na open bracket r equals to all, then df dot shape this. So checking for the missing value again, we can see that all the missing value is now 0. So that shows there is no missing value anymore. So if we try to run this, we can see that this is the missing value before, but now it has been eliminated. So the total value here, so if I try to check the length again, length of def, the length here now has been reduced to 186,305. Then the first question to ask on this data is, what is the best month for sales? So we need to know the best month for sales in from our data set, and these are just like basic things that we do with others tools for data analysis, just like using Excel, Power BI and the likes. So the first thing is, what is the best month for sales? We want to know the best month for sales. Before we proceed, we need to check the names of our column so that we can check based on the month that has the best sales. So def dot column is going to give me the names of the names of the it's going to give me the names of the columns that I have in my data set, just like order ID, product, quantity order, price each, order date, purchase address and the likes. So these are just like basic column here in my data set. Then def order date dot dtype. So if I run this, I can see that for other dates, the data type is O, which is object, and other date should be in form of date, right? So we need to find ways of changing this to date, or try to investigate why is the data types date, or why is the data type order date not date, and why is it string or object. So I can check on the uniqueness of the value inside order date. So df square bracket order date then dot unique. So if I run this now, it's going to show me this, which is 04/16 abi 1919, and you can see that these are just like basic things inside the order date. So I need to split this so that we can see what is going on in that particular data set. We already saw that inside the order date, these are the unique value, and you can see there's a slash here. I think maybe it's the slash that is not making it be to be date and time, instead of putting in date and time. Um that's why he's putting it object. So now I will just pick one out of this and try to split it and pick. And don't forget that what our target here is what is the best month for sales. And in this data set we have day, we have month, day and year. So we need to remove the month and put it in a separate column where we'll be able to make use of it. So I have to use 04 then slash 19 slash 19. So I need to run it and you will see that now I'm able to get the month for this particular date. So this, the first one is month, the second one is day, the third one is year. So now I've been able to pick out the month by using this line of code, which is after specifying the date, then dot split, then open bracket, then slash, then square bracket 0. This is showing the index of 0, which is 1, and it's giving us here as 04. So now I'm not defining a function that can take that particular value and split everything with this and bring out the month, which is the 0. So if you can still remember list, just like this, L equals to square bracket. So if I'm trying to print this, so I'm getting this as response, which is banana, fruit, mango and apple. So if I want to get this banana, I'll just say L square bracket 0. So I'm just trying to explain the concept of indexing and slicing. So if I use 0 here, I'm able to get banana alone, which is the first item in this list. So if I'm using 1 instead of 0, I'm getting fruit because so the banana is 0 in terms of the checking using the index, while the fruit is 1 and the mango is, if I want to check on the mango, I'll just use 2. So the mango is 2 while the apple is 3. And you will notice that the counting or the indexing started with 0, which banana represents 0, fruit represents 1, mango represents 2, apple represents 3. So then we are getting that as 3, and it's showing that apple has 3. So now we want to add the month. We want to add months and just try to put, I'm just trying to, and also if we consider counting from back, so if I use -1, it's going to pick the last one. So now we want to add month column to our major column. And before we add the month column, I'll just use this dot add. So this dot add is showing, this is the total column, which is order ID, product, quantity order, price it, order date, then purchase address. So these are just like basic information in this table. So now we want to add an extra column, and how can we do it? We add month column. So you use DEF, then square bracket month, you close the bracket equals to DEF, then square bracket other date dot apply and put the month. So if I run this now, it has already applied to it, and we already applied the month because this is the month here based on this code that we written here. So what I'm going to do is, before I proceed, I'm just going to do this again, which is df.add, to see if a column has been added, and you will see here that a column has already been added called month. So now we already have a month column added because initially our table stopped as purchase address. So now we already have a month that is being added here just because of this function. This function here, which is def month open bracket x return x dot split, then we open bracket put the slash in the quotation, then square bracket 0, just to bring out the month from it. And now it has now been added to the column by using def, putting the names of the month, which is month, equals to def square bracket other date, then dot apply and then month. So now we already have it. Then we can check on their data type to see what is going on, and we see that every one of them has object which is in form of string. So all of them have the data type called string. And I can also try to check on each the uniqueness of each column. So I don't necessarily need to read. Okay, let me just get the head again. So this is the head. So now I want to check the unique values from the month that I just added now. So the uniqueness of the month is this. We have 0, 05, we have, but inside this column all of them should have been in number, but now we are seeing other dates in quotation also amidst those months numbers, which we have 04, 05, 08, 09, 12, 01, 01, 03, 07, 06, 11, and 10. So now we have other dates, and other dates should not be in the column. So we need to find ways of try to remove it from the data set. So how can we do that? We can do that by using def the month, which is equals to def dot as type integer. So now I'm trying to convert the data type of month to integer, but it's going to result to an error. So let me just see what will happen before I proceed. So now me trying to change the data type of month to integer is not possible because this month has other dates that should not be here. So inside the month everything should have been in number, but just because of this other date, that is why this as type integer is not working. So then I can check on the uniqueness of month again, which is this, and you can see other dates. We need to remove it. So how can I remove it? I can do that by filtering my data set. So filter equals to df square bracket month equals to other date, then length open bracket def square bracket. We are trying to use this negating sign to filter out the other date. So this is the negating sign. Is always find in maybe like a key below escape key on your laptop. So this negation, just like you can see, filter equals to def then square bracket month equals to other date, then length of def square bracket negation sign then filter. Then I will run it, and when I run it, e show this. Then I will now make that negation to be in action by using def equals to def then square bracket negation sign, then filter, then I'm going to run it. So if I check on the shape now, we already have this, and if I check on the head, this is the number. So if I try to change the as type of month to real number, it's going to work now because I've filtered the value or the text that are inside that column. So now we can see that month as integer and others are still like this. So we can still change all of them one after the other. So we can change price each to be float. Float is any number that has decimal. So if I run it, it will work. Then for quantity order, I can also change it to integer. So it also work, and now I can just try to check on the d types of. So if I check the d type again, I can see here that I've been able to change quantity order to integer, price it to float, then also month to integer. Then now, after doing this, what we are going to do is we are also need to create another column called sales, and what will be inside sales is the multiplication of the quantity order multiplied by DEF price. So we are trying to multiply the quantity order times the quantity order times price to form the sales. So the multiplication of quantity order and price each is what form the sales. So I'm just going to do that now, and if I run it, we are now already getting the sales by the multiplication of quantity order multiplied by price each. So I think this is where I'm going to stop tonight, and I hope we are people that are still on the call. Please, how do we get the negation sign? The negation sign is this. How can I call this sign? So I think it's always below the escape key from your laptop. So just check the below before tab key. I'm not sure, maybe every keyboards are the same, but if they are the same, you will see that escape key. So under escape key, that's where that negation sign is, and before tab, so that's where it is. And I believe we all learn one or two things from this course or from this class. So the next class we are going to continue by checking which city has the maximum order. We can check which city has the maximum order. We can also check on what time should we display advertisement to maximize for product purchase. We are also going to check, so between 12 p.m. and 7 is probably the best. So how to know the best time for advertisement, then what product shows the most and why. So these are like basic questions that we may still proceed or further by answering in this data set. So this is where I'm going to stop. So see us tomorrow. Oh, okay, I said tomorrow. See us on Thursday. So goodbye now. And if you have question, you can do well to ask them on the Telegram. I'm going to attend to it.